Viewers, before I play this clip, listen for the contradiction sitting underneath Sorry Day. National Sorry Day is meant to acknowledge the stolen generations. My grandmother on my father's side was stolen generation. Children taken from family, culture, country, language, and identity. That remembrance matters. But Senator Lidia Thorpe's argument presses into the unresolved wound beneath the ceremony. What does national sorry mean if present systems are still producing Aboriginal suffering through child removals, deaths in custody, incarceration, poverty, dispossession, and bureaucratic control? The short clash with the chair matters because it becomes more than a procedural interruption. It shows the tension between institutional order and Aboriginal witness. A chair must keep order, but the deeper question is whether procedure becomes another wall between Aboriginal grief and institutional accountability. So, as you watch this exchange, do not only ask whether Senator Thorpe followed the rules. Ask the harder question. What happens when Aboriginal pain is only permitted to speak inside the limits, language, timing, and comfort of the very institutions being challenged?
Okay.
And they're appearing a bit later, as I understand, today.
All right. Well, it's Sorry Day. Sorry means you don't do it again. Why have we got 24,000 Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander children in out-of-home care today?
Senator, as I think I indicated earlier today, in relation to child protection and safety, child protection largely is a jurisdictional responsibility.
Are you aware of the Commonwealth power to override the genocide, which is what the Bringing Them Home report said? This is genocide, taking our children.
So, Senator, I would say there are a range of different policies. Even though it is primarily a jurisdictional responsibility, there are a range of policies that the Commonwealth is responsible for. I think we've spoken previously about safe and supported being the overall framework for the Commonwealth's response on child safety matters. We are not the agency that administers the safe and supported programming and framework. That's actually Department of Social Services.
Do you talk to them about the genocide
Senator,
on our children and families?
Senator, we talk to the Department of Social Services almost on a daily basis on some issues around not only whether the Closing the Gap work is contributing to outcomes as required, but new funding proposals that they might be contemplating. So we're in regular contact.
Because and sorry to cut you off, but I keep raising it and raising it. My mother was part of the Bringing Them Home inquiry 29 years ago. I will continue to raise it until the day I take my last breath. It is genocide. Do you talk to other departments to stop the genocide? Because under your government, the minister's government, it's increased, it's out of control. Incarceration is out of control. We know kids removed end up imprisoned or dead. So I don't want to come, next year and ask the same. I want to see, our people want action, not words.
So, Senator, we are concerned about the high rates of children going into child protection. We understand that the impact of children in child protection, what it means not only for family dislocation, but also what it means potentially for...
Just want to know what the action is.
The actions would be, we actually do write as well to jurisdictions, because they are the ones who administer the child protection system for each jurisdiction, and the Minister has written recently to the Northern Territory Government, in particular in relation to child protection issues.
You know what they do?
Territory.
You know what they do? They look at the letter from the federal minister and they go, we've got to commit genocide because we need the land and the resources. We need these people moved off. Smooth the dying pillow. We're meant to be eradicated. They're doing a very good job in this country to eradicate us. If it's not to kill us, remove us, it's to assimilate us. I'm sorry, but I just see no action from this government. And it's always handballing to states and territories. And you have our people pour our hearts out for their removals, for the deaths in custody, and nothing happens from the federal government. So excuse me for being a little bit passionate, because I'll get branded that. It's not about that. It's about keeping our people alive. So, all right, states and territories, what is the federal action to stop our children being stolen from their families? What is the federal action? It's Sorry Day.
It is. I know this is a really uncomfortable point, and I totally hear where you're coming from, but the accountability, the responsibility under the Constitution and under how this works is that the states and territories.
No, you're incorrect, Chair. Don't butt in, because that is incorrect.
And there's no need to be.
You have constitutional power. Have a look at it.
There's no need.
Please
to be
answer
rude.
the question. One of you. Sorry Day. Remember Sorry Day.
Yes.
Not a morning tea. It's an action.
Senator, as I had indicated before, the Department of Social Services actually oversees the safe and supported framework. It does work with all of the jurisdictions on what we can do at the Commonwealth level. We do have programming, I think we've talked about it many times here, that in terms of our supports to families through the Indigenous Advancement Strategy. But we're not the only one in the Commonwealth who's actually working on these particular issues as well.
Thank you.
Senator Thorpe argues for stronger and safer. And that exchange captures the paradox of Sorry Day with painful clarity. Australia can schedule remembrance, it can hold ceremonies, it can speak sorrow over past removals. But Senator Lidia Thorpe's argument is that remembrance becomes morally compromised if present systems continue producing Aboriginal suffering through child removals, deaths in custody, incarceration, poverty, land dispossession, bureaucratic control, and the failure of constitutional protection to operate as real protection for Aboriginal people. Her accusation is severe, that Aboriginal people are not only remembered as victims of past policy, but are still being pressured, removed, contained and displaced within systems that continue to serve land, power, minerals and institutional control. That claim must be treated carefully. It is not a finding in this video. It is a political, moral and constitutional allegation being raised by Senator Thorpe, and it deserves examination rather than dismissal. The clash with the chair matters because it shows the tension beneath the whole issue. Procedure matters. Order matters, but the question is whether procedure becomes another containment system, managing Aboriginal grief rather than answering the substance of what is being alleged. Viewers, Sorry Day is morally necessary, but it is institutionally incomplete if remembrance does not become repair, protection, land justice, accountability, and structural change. And Senator Thorpe's challenge is this: a nation cannot apologise for yesterday's removal, while ignoring claims that today's machinery is still removing, displacing, containing, and failing Aboriginal people. And the final question remains: Sorry Day leads to justice. Apparently, does Sorry Day lead to justice? Or has justice been delayed behind annual remembrance while the land, the people, and the protections themselves remain contested? I'm Dr. JWA, theologist, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Like and subscribe to encourage me, comment to educate me, and share the video to help somebody else.